The future Queen Njinga was born to the soon-to-be king Mbande and one of his enslaved wives. Her father became king, or Angola, when Njinga was 10. The present-day country of Angola, which encompasses what was once the Ndongo Kingdom, actually gets its name from a European misunderstanding of that word, Ngola, king. Njinga's mother's name was Kingela, and as an enslaved woman, she was presented to the king as a gift. But she soon became his favorite companion, eventually receiving the title of principal concubine, which is the status just below chief wife. According to legend, when Njinga was born, she was breech, with the umbilical cord wrapped tightly around her neck, threatening her airflow. The newborn baby was turning blue. But even as an infant, Njinga clung to life, and she twisted herself out of the umbilical cord and earned herself her first breath. Njinga also earned her name that way, from the Kimbundu language verb kujinga, to twist and turn. According to local tradition, a baby who survives being born with an umbilical cord wrapped around its neck is a symbol that they'll grow up to be powerful and proud. But Njinga's birth was also prophetic in another way. It foreshadowed the way that she would be able to manipulate situations to her advantage, to be able to twist and turn and adapt amongst various tribes and European allies, in order to protect herself and her kingdom. Njinga, clever and hard-working, quickly became her father's favorite child. Though no women were actually rulers of the Ndongo Kingdom, they weren't excluded from the political sphere either. Njinga's father became king when she was 10, and she was constantly at his side, standing at his knee and learning while he conducted various diplomatic affairs and meetings. She learned how to fight and received the same military training as her brother, and she also learned Portuguese. Because she was a woman, her brother didn't see her aptitude as a threat. He just saw her as her clever sister. Isn't it sweet how much time she spends with Dad? The monarchy in the Ndongo Kingdom wasn't a direct father-to-son dynasty. It was a little more Game of Thronesy, in which there were a number of eligible possible kings based on their royal lineages, and any one of them could be selected. Or one of them could establish themselves as king in a show of force, like Njinga's brother Mbande did, by more or less staging a coup before the formal council decision was made after their father's death. But Mbande's fragile hold on the throne in the early days meant that he had to be vigilant of every possible threat. According to the story, Njinga had a son at this point, and Mbande, afraid that his nephew might one day usurp him, killed the baby and, for grotesque good measure, forcibly sterilized Njinga with hot oil and herbs to make sure that she could never have any more male heirs. Because Njinga was a woman, she was allowed to live. She wasn't seen as a threat to his throne.